So that should be there. Does everybody see? Yep, so we are recording. So now what I want to do, yeah, if you still have share cell, you're doing good. Okay. Because most of us can't get share cell anymore. So if you're doing share cell, you're good. If they're telling you your site's not up to par, then you just need to add more stuff and just create more pages. You don't want to lose them because it's hard to get them back. So what I'm going to do is just open up for anything that you want to go over today. This is what I'm going to be going over, is how to use your snipping tool for various functions that you have for your system. We're going to also be going over again how to create templates for ads and how to advertise, how to get your links. Going to go over a little bit on Google AdSense, some of the things that is required for them, and how to get your widget for your response magic. So is there anything else that anybody that you want to go over?
I'd like to go over the one, and I think I'm still confused on how to take a page from like somebody, one of our other, like Rory's pages, and put it into mine to change it up.
Oh, so how to add a page.
Right, to add it into one, you know, the ones that are on my side tabs.
Uh-huh. Oh, your menu.
Yeah, I want to change that because
Okay.
some of you, like you said, some of them are outdated.
Yep. Okay, gotcha. We can do that. Change menu.
Great.
Okay, so we'll do that. I might do that first because this page here that I'm doing, I want to incorporate it into my menu structure. So and the one for keto. So we will probably do that first. So that way I can show you all at one time. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Something you want me to go over today?
Sheila, I'm sitting here looking at Rory's picture and the participants, and that's all I see. Is that what I'm supposed to be looking at?
Do you not see my page?
No.
All right, let me.
I don't either.
Sheila.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind seeing Rory's picture.
So you see Constance, right?
Oh, you see me? No.
All right, hold on, wait a minute. I know what I didn't do. I didn't do share screen. Sorry, that's me.
It's the pills.
You do have a mark.
I told y'all.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There.
Oh, that's okay.
Right.
Okay, now we see it.
Okay,
that's
thank
better.
you.
I knew I was missing something.
Hey, Sheila, it's Lynn again.
Hey, darling, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
All right, so see, y'all got to keep me straight today. I told you I'm highly medicated. So, all right, so now you see my page, correct?
Yes, yes.
All right, perfect. All right, so anything else anybody else wants to go over today or would like for me to go over? Anything in particular? If not, we'll get started. Okay, and then if there's any questions that pop up afterwards, we'll go over those too. So let's see, we have somebody put something in the chat. I have a picture over the typing and okay, yes. I'll go over that. That's the percentage problem. And that will have to be in your code. So the best thing to do for that is just to remove it. Remove the picture, but I'll show you how to do that. We will not be talking about helium. I'll just say that if you have helium and it's a virtual helium, they are still working on how to get that. If you have it and you've already done your wallet and you've let Stacy know, then Peter and his side will be actually assigning your virtual helium to an area. And that's as far as I know for right now. starting the 15th, if you check your wallet for your helium, you should start seeing your money deposited depending on which group you came in, if you came in at the $100 or the $50. My suggestion is because the price of gold right now, I would leave it in there as long as you can. Hopefully the price of gold would go up. Usually it does in the summertime because your helium coin is guaranteed at whatever they guarantee you at. But if your gold price goes up, then it could be worth more.
I
So
didn't hear anything about the wallet. Which wallet?
yeah, check your email once Stacy gets, because you came in last night, so she will
Yeah.
send you an email once she gets to it that will have all that information on where you need to go to sign up for your wallet.
Okay.
So once she gets you updated and gets all your information to Peter, she will send you that email. If you don't get it in the next couple of days, let me know.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is when I'm okay, you there? Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So what I want to do is if everybody would just mute yourself until we get to the end. That way we won't have any background noise on our recording. That would be awesome. That way I don't have to mute everybody out. So one thing I do is when I am in my website or working in my website, I always have two tabs open. One is the one I'm working in and one I'm using for reference, just to make things easier so I can toggle back and forth between the two. So this is the one that I'm working on, and I'm going to make sure it's updated, and we will come
Sheila,
back. Yes.
how do you open up another tab on your website?
Depending on your system, on how you have your system set up, some of you, when you go into your Google, your Chrome, you need to go into your settings and have it to open up different tabs for different sites. Some people have their settings set up. So when you go into your settings, you want to make sure that you have that it opens in a new tab anytime you open a different tab. Some people, when they open up a tab and you want a new tab, it will open up over your existing tab. So just make sure you have that set up. If you notice mine up here at the top, I have this plus sign. So if you just click on the plus, it opens a new tab, and then I have all mine bookmarked up here. So my dashboard, I have it set just on the bookmark bar. So I just click on that and it opens it up in that tab I'm on. If you are in your current tab and you want to open up another tab, you have to make sure you click on this plus sign. If not, you will open it up over your existing page. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So when I'm in here, so what I'm going to do here, and this is the one thing people we're going to make sure that you understand is your menu. So when you come to your home page, you have your menu structure. Like I said before, you don't want every page that you create needs to be in your menu structure. Not every page needs to be there. Google likes for you to have this search option so that people can actually search your page based on your key phrases. It also helps you with your SEO and your ranking in Google if you have a searchable page. You don't want everything here. It gets too cluttered. So the things you want in your menu is your most current and relevant topics that people are looking for, that's trending and popular. You can switch these out on different pages that you create. You can swap them, move them, take them out of your menu structure and replace it with something else. That doesn't mean that it's out of your website. It just means that they can't come here and click it and go straight to that page. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come to our menus and we're going to modify our menu structure. So when you come to your menus, you have two different things that you want to be aware of. You have your added menu items. I have mine under most recent. So this shows me the most recent pages that I've created. Now, if you want to see every page that you've created in your website, you click on View All, and it shows you every page that's in your system, and it goes in alphabetical order. I just want my most recent. So then you come to your menu structure. And then you can look and say, okay, which ones do I want to move out? Which ones do I want to leave in? So I know I'm getting ready to add the recipe menu. So I need to take something out. I just got to find out where I want to put it. So this one's in cooking, food, and wine. So actually, I can probably leave it in there. This one I want to get rid of. So I just want to come here and I'm going to click my drop down button, and right here where it says remove, I'm going to remove it. Now that just takes it off of my menu. It doesn't take it out of my website. It's still in there. Same thing with this one. I want to remove that. Okay. So once I do that, I'm going to come back up here and I want to save it. Move you down here. So I'm going to save my menu. And you will see that my icon's turning, letting me know that it's saved. Once it's saved, it's going to say your menu's updated once it's done. All right, so right there, menu has been updated. So as you can see, if you come back down under my cooking, food, and wine, those drop downs are gone. All right, so now I'm going to come back up here and I want to put this one and keto diet. I want to add those to my menu. Okay, now when I do that, those are going to be at the very bottom of my menu structure. Right here. So then all I have to do is drop and drag it to where I want it to go. So this one is just on recipes. So I'm going to move this up here. All right, so I'm in my wine and I want it to be right here under quick and easy meals. And I want to indent it. That way it's a subtitle up under that one. Or I can do this, put this here, and let's make this a subtitle. That's better. I like that better. All right, so that one's done. Then I'm going to come back down here and grab my keto and wine. And since this is mainly a health topic, I'm going to put it under my health. So I'm going to come up here under health. Emotions. Okay, health topics. And for right now, I'm going to leave it right there because I'm not really talking about coffee. It's actually a keto, but I can come up here and move this and put this up underneath the keto and have a subtitle for keto. And this is just rearranging carbs, pain management. And some of these I can take out. So I'm going to remove this one because I got to work on that one. And I'm going to remove that one. That one needs work. So there's that. So now I've put my two.
Sheila, yeah. So when you remove those, do they go back into draft form or?
No, all you're doing is taking them off your menu. They're still in your website. They're still live. They don't do anything. You're just removing the line off your menu structure. It doesn't have anything to do with your page at all.
Okay.
Gotcha. It's basically like you had a rough draft and you had all these titles or topics and you decided you just wanted to erase that topic off of it, you don't want it at the beginning, but your page is still in there that you're talking about it. So that's all you're doing on your menu, is you're just taking that menu topic off, that they can't search it on your menu, but they can still search it in your search engine.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
And if you want to put it back,
Yep. So if you wanted to put it back, so let me save this. So say, like with me, I have a promotional and seasonal pay menu category. Say you didn't have one and you just put it up underneath gifts or something like that, and Christmas is coming back around or whatever, and you're like, well, I want my Christmas page to be back on my menu structure. Then you just go to view all and find your title. They're in alphabetical order. You click on that title, and once you click on it, you just click add to menu and put it back in your menu structure. Your page is still there. The only way you can get rid of your page is if you physically put it in draft or physically trash it. If you remove it off your menu structure, that's all it's doing, is taking it off your menu structure. It's still in your website and it's still live. All you're doing is just basically removing the title off your menu structure. Everything is still in your website as is. Okay, so I'm saving that. So then once that gets saved, we can go back to my page. So menu is saved, updated. So now if I go back to visit site and come to my menu section, I can go to cooking, food, and wine, and there's my Southern Comfort Foods and quick and easy meals. And then all of the things about coconut oil has been removed. Same thing if I come down to health. There's my keto-friendly diet and wines, and then the keto and ketosis fat burning system. So different things. So that's how you would go back and check it to make sure everything is where it needs to be. Same thing with the categories. If there's a category you want to take out, you do the same thing. Just remember, your category is all it is a page that you're introducing each topic into. You don't necessarily have to have one. Every page is searchable. So that's the one thing you want to do, is make sure that you have all your pages searchable. That's funny. Google put a picture over my response magic. That's perfect. Okay. So that's, how you will work your menu. You can interchange anything in your menu structure with any page that you have completed. You can swap them out. Like I said, you have your different options. You have your most recent, and then you have your view all, which encompasses every page that is published, not your drafts and not your trash. If you don't know the topic, but you know your key phrase, you can do search and do the same thing. And then if you want to look at your posts, say I want to see what my post pages are, you do the same thing. Remember, the posts are pages that are on your home page. And they are individual pages that you've created. The only difference is they're all on one consecutive page, but they're individual posts. And so that's one thing you can look for there too. So you have your pages and your posts. So depending on what you want to look for, I always have it on my most recent. Those are the ones that I have created within the last 2 to 3 weeks. So those will always be there. But if you want to look at your overall system for your pages, just click view all, and it will show you everything in alphabetical order that's there. Okay. Any questions on that? Anybody? Let's see, you got something in the chat. Why is my chat not showing? When you have a topic, or like I did a menu item, you can put it wherever you want to. It just depends on what category you want it to link with. Like my keto, I wanted it to be under health and fitness. I didn't want it to be under wines, because most of the page is talking about keto and the keto diet. Wine's just a supplement on people that are giving up their alcohol for a keto diet. Now the recipes, because I have a topic or a category with food, I put that separately because I'll be adding recipes to that. I probably will go back and do some more traditional Southern recipes and add that. So at least I have a category that I can put that in if I decide to put it in my menu. So those are the different things. You just determine based on the page that you write on where you want it to go. I don't know why that. This is in your menu structure. So when you come to your visit site, you can see it in two different ways. You can either come to your dashboard. If you go to your dashboard, come to appearance and go to menus. And that will pull up your menu structure. Or if you're at your site and you're on your home page, then you can, they have a drop down here. You can actually go to menus straight from here. And it takes you straight to the same place as your menu structure. And then, like I said, you have your most recent, you have your view all, which is every page that is in your website that is published. And then if you don't know the page, but you know the key search term, then you can just click on search, and it'll pull up every page that has that word in it. And then you just choose which one you want to add to your menu. And then once you do that, you just check on the box, hit add to menu, and then you can put it there. The other thing that you can do is say you want this topic in more than one category. Then all you do is after you moved it and saved your menu, you just click it and hit add it to menu again. It'll put it down at the bottom, and then you just scroll it to your second topic that you want it to go into. I would suggest for Google, you don't have the same page in more than two categories, because then Google will say that you are repeating the same page, that you really don't have that much relevant content. You're just repeating the same content. So I wouldn't put the same page in more than two categories if they fit. You don't want a keto diet page in a travel category. They don't fit. That's sort of like a false advertising. So you want to make sure that your pages fit the menu structure that you put them in, or the menu category that you put them in. Okay. All right. Do we have any more questions on menu and menu structure? How to fix it and change it and modify it? Nope. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to go over Google AdSense, since we're here and we've brought it up. Google AdSense is very picky, and they're cracking down the more popular people and the more websites that are popping up. So what you need to make sure that you do is on your home page, you want to open up with, I always open up with a thank you, because if they come to your home page, you want to make sure that they see that you're thanking them for visiting your site. You want to give them little snippets of what your website entails. Talk about yourself a little bit if you can. Like I said, give them little snippets about what's in your page. Give them links to those pages. The one thing you don't want to do is have a big old sign and talking nothing about wine. Give a little snippet that you have a wine club, and make sure you emphasize club, that you're not selling wine. You don't want it to be the very first thing that they see. Have it down towards the bottom of your thing. Mine's a little lengthy. It's probably could, be a little bit shorter. I always include a way for them to get in touch with me if they want to. I give them my my Facebook page. You can give them your Instagram, follow you on Instagram. If you want to give them, your email, you can put your email address in there, but you want to make sure that you give them something that they can get in touch with you. Social media is good because you get, for Google, when they see a conversion from social media, from traffic, it helps you to rank higher. So social media is a good place or a good format for people to follow you through. Everybody's on some type of social media. You also want to include another page. So here's another one I have. I know it's what a lot of people are looking for is money. You know, they're looking for loans, they're looking for ways to get out of debt. So I have this one for people that, you know, that need credit loans. I also have a way for them to come in here. I talk about, you know, different loan companies, you know, that I have things with. Got a few little categories here that they can go through. Somewhere in here, I talk about, you know, getting with our blogging for cash. So there's different things, and all of it links to a page that I have already created. Some of them are direct links that go straight to the company. Then I have one here that is for rapid weight loss. This is before we had our Valentis. So this one's kind of old, but it is still a valid offer. I just haven't changed it. I probably won't change it. So I have 4 on here, and then I have my sociable, which is on the blogging for cash on under brunette. So I have 4 on mine. You want at least 2. I won't have any more. Now you can come, and I don't change these. I might update them, but I don't change them. Some people can change them. If you want to change them, you can. Um, I don't change mine. So that's one of the things that you can do for that. And that's all you want. You don't want to keep adding a lot of posts because, like I said, as you can see, this turns into one long page. But each page or each post is its own individual page. So that's the one thing, is that's why they only want you to have 2, maybe 3, is because it turns into a long page for people to view. And a lot of people are not going to scroll all the way down. Like I said, mines are a little long. I just haven't gone back to change them. These are some of the first ones I ever did. And I just haven't gone back to change them. I might update them later, but I'm not really concerned with that. All I want to make sure is that they see my thank you page. And that's the first thing that they see. Just remember that when you create a post, that it does reverse chronological order. So the last thing that you write in a post will be the first thing that shows up. So whenever you do that, you want to make sure that when you go to your dashboard and you want your thank you page to be first, you go to your all post and you go to your published pages, and then you hover for whichever one you want to be your first one, and you go to quick edit, and you will see over here beside published, it has where it says make this post sticky. You want to make sure that's checked. That way, no matter what you create after that initial post that you check, this one will always be first. And then the rest of them will fall up underneath that one. If you don't have this checked, then when you create a post that goes on your home page, when you publish it, it will be the first one they see. So if you want your thank you page or your thank you note to be the first thing that they see, you need to make sure that this little icon right here is checked. Then that means whatever page you create after that will fall underneath it. It won't get in the way. Okay?
Sheila,
Uh-huh.
hi, it's Constance.
Yeah.
That the sticky I got before, I just 1 second, when you want other posts, forget sticky. Now you have to go over, oh, look at this, I'm trying to move my, my arrow. You have to date them. Make
No,
sure
not
you
if you,
date
no,
them, so chronologically the dating,
not for a post.
not the first one. Well, how do you get the others? Okay, you've got the first category, perfect. Like that's the one that's always going to be first.
Mhm.
But how about the second page? Or
That depends on you.
I
Now,
don't mean
if
page. I'm sorry. I mean post.
yeah, so if you have another post and
Yeah.
say you want it to fall, then that's where you would have to go in. Say maybe I want the money one to be the bottom, and I want the weight loss to be before the money. So
Uh-huh.
then I have to look at my published dates. One was on the 27th and one was on the 26th. So if I want this one to be first, I would need to go in and put a more current date in.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Yep. And then all I would have to do is, again, you just do your quick edit. You would come over here to your published date. This one you might actually have to go into edit. Well, it might help if I'm doing the right date.
Last week I tried to do it and I go, dummy, this is almost
Yeah,
8 months ago.
no, so yeah, so in your quick edit, you would just come over here to the date. So I know that one was done on the 27th. This was done on the 26th. So then I would have to make this either the 30th, or make it in March, May, so that the date would be after this one. Then that way, this one would get moved up on my page.
All right.
So that's how you would change the date, of how they appear on your homepage.
All right. I'll go check again, but I thought I did that.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you, dear.
You're welcome. Okay. All right.
Sheila,
Anybody else?
one other thing on the post.
Mhm.
I was told not to put any links into that page. And I thought you said put links in. So I want to make
Yeah,
sure which is
on a
right.
post, yeah, on your post, you can put links. You want them to link it to a page in your system, so that they can click on it and go to a page in your system. I'm not sure why they would say that, but yeah, you don't want them just to have information. You want them to be able to find what you're talking about. Most of them will be internal. It follows the same guidelines as you do with any page. It will ask for an internal link, outbound link, pictures, just just like any page you create. So, but for most of the homepage links, you want them to be internal. Maybe have one outbound link, but you want them to go to a page. That's why when you see my thank you, it's mostly little snippets, of a page that I've created. And if they click on that link, it takes them straight to the page so they can read more in-depth details about what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I took them all out and I'll just put them all back in again.
Yeah, but you want to make sure that the majority of them are internal links that's going to a page. You don't want it full of them. Again, it's going to be like little snippets, of information, especially if it's the thank you and you're introducing your website. Now, the other ones can work a little bit different, but again, you want it to be informative, clean, and let them know that, hey, I have other things to offer, especially if you have other pages that can go along with that. Do an internal link, but you don't want to bombard your home page with a bunch of links. You want it to be clean.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. All right, so, and then for Google, like I said, you want to make sure that you have at least 2 on your home page. The other thing for Google is you want to add, because Google already knows about Rory and what he's doing. And so if they see a bunch of websites that's coming through that have the same titles, they're talking about the same information, all the stuff is still the same, you're going to get denied. So that's where your extra pages come in. So you want to have as many as you can. I tell my students 7 to 10 extra pages. And when I say extra pages, that doesn't mean rewrite another wine page or rewrite another coffee page. Write relevant material. If you're going to talk about weight loss, then make sure you're talking about weight loss, not talking about coffee. Intersperse coffee in it. If you're going to be talking about your meals and your recipes and you include wine, let the wine be an afterthought, not the main theme of your page. Do hobbies, do crafts, do gift ideas. Don't cover the same material that already has 5 and 10 pages. Like with our coffee and wine, we have gobs and gobs of pages of those. Do stuff that is relevant to people. Like I said, everybody knows I'm a shoe fanatic. So I wrote pages on the heel versus the flat. That was one of my first pages that I wrote. I wrote about my own weight loss issues and health issues. I wrote about sports themes. Me and my husband travel with, for his softball, my kids playing ball. I wrote about, my culture, my native culture, and how I perceive it according to the rest of the world. So things like that you want to include. Put your hobbies in there. Write it from your own perspective. They don't all have to have a link in them. You just want to get them out there, and start gaining that SEO traffic. If you don't have at least 100 pages in your in your website, don't even try for Google. they're not even going to look at it. You want a minimum. When I say minimum, that's the bare basics, is just you need at least 100 pages. The more you have, the better it is, because then Google sees that you have a relevant website that people's going to find what they're looking for in it. And out of those 100 pages, I mean, everybody gets a website that's going to have, I think, anywhere from 107 to 120 pages. If you've cut it down and all you've got's 100 pages, including your new stuff, you're not going to get approved. So 100 in addition to. So my best advice is, when you are applying for Google AdSense, you need to start out with at least as many pages as you got with your system. So if you got a system with 114 pages, and you're getting ready to apply for Google and you have 101, you need to add more pages. You need to have at least the same amount of pages that you started with, just to be relevant, and make sure that you have what Google's looking for. You don't want a bunch of pictures in there. If you have a page and it's nothing but a photo album, Google's not going to like it. If your categories, when they go to look at it, and like I said, there's like 4 or 5 pages in the same category, or the same page in 4 or 5 categories, you won't get approved. They want to make sure 2 is, I would say, would be the max, that you should have the same page in different categories. They want to make sure that you have different content in each category that is relevant. They don't want, like I said, they don't want to have irrelevant material in a category. So you don't want to put weight loss and travel. So that's one of the things, you don't want to misdirect people. You want to make sure that your links are all good and valid, that they go to an actual page and they don't get an error. The other thing is, you want to make sure that your background does not overwhelm your website. So you want something basic. You don't want something that's going to come through on the page. You want something clean, that's pleasing to the eye. If you want to put a background, you don't want a background that has a bunch of pictures. You don't want a background that has like your personal picture, your family and stuff, because that's going to bleed through these white pages. And you want to make it clean. You don't want to have a whole lot, like these are my Google AdSense, and Google came through and they put them where they want to. That's the way I have it set up, where they can put it where it gets the most visual effects. And it looks like they got 3 or 4 different ones, which is fine. You want to make sure you have your response magic code in there and make sure that that's relevant and up to date. I'll probably change this one out for a more current one because the holidays are over. And then you can have a couple of your widgets here for some of your affiliates that you have. Again, you don't want a whole lot. Here's another Google ad that they've put in here. And so that's how you want to get your Google AdSense, is you've got to have relevant material, so that when you do get Google and they approve you, that the sites that they put on your website is comparable to what you already have, that you're advertising, that people's going to be looking for. So if I don't have any clothing or women's clothing, Google can't advertise women's clothing on my website. If I don't have anything for financial situations or money laundering, then they can't advertise this on my website. So you want to make sure that not only is your website caters to a whole genre of people, but also that Google can also come on your website, because people's already looking for it and their site's going to get clicked. And that's what they want.
When Google puts things on your site, do you get a commission off of it when
Yes.
people?
Yes.
Okay. So
that's why you
they
want Google.
incorporate your name.
Google pays me.
Okay.
Yeah. Google pays me for every time somebody clicks one of their links.
Oh, okay.
On my page. You do not click your own Google link. They will kick you off. They'll take it from you.
Sheila?
Yes.
I'm going to clear up something on the count
Mm-hmm.
of the pages that you began with, that your site had when you started your PBS.
Yes.
Is that all pages, or does that just the published pages?
When
does
you
that
get
count the draft?
No, Google
things that
doesn't
people-
count. No, Google does not even. They can't even see anything that's in draft or trash.
All right, so if I had 85 published pages on there, that's considered what I began with.
Yep. If you got it and all your published pages were 85, that was all you had was as a published website, then you need to have at least 100 to 110 published pages to apply for Google.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the other thing is Google does not see when you go to apply for Google, they do not see draft pages and they do not see trash pages. They only see published pages or post. They don't see anything in draft. They don't see anything in trash. So I have roughly right now about 40 some pages in draft, and Google doesn't see that. When I applied for Google, I had nothing in draft. Everything was published. And like I said, I rewrote my entire website twice. So sometimes you will have to. You can't put a post in a page. Those are two totally different things.
No, I accidentally. So I guess there's no way I had to copy the whole thing and put it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
all right.
You cannot
Accident.
move one to the other. They're
Right.
two separate entities. So if you come up here and you click new and you hit post instead of page, and by the time you get finished, it's like, oh, I wanted that to be a page and not a post, then you actually have to open a clean page and copy everything in that page. Now, that being said, I've had people send me messages. I copied my page over and my title looks like gibberish. That's because you neglected to put your title in first before you pasted. So the first thing you need to do when you open a clean page is type in or paste in your title first, and then type in or paste in your content. Because if you don't, the computer or your website will assign it what they consider a title, and it's always a random code. It's never the title.
I'm sorry. I was like,
yeah, so if you come here and you do a page, say I've had a post and I got to transfer it. If you don't put this title in first, when you go to hit preview or publish or save draft, your title will come up as some gibberish. And then you have to change it and change it everywhere that it shows up in your SEO and your key phrase and your slug everywhere. Because it will put that same code wherever your title will appear. So always transfer your title first and then paste over your content.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. So that's the one thing as far as Google is you want to make sure and change those, change those pages. At first, when we started with Google, we said, 60 to 70%. Google's not liking that because people are not changing it enough, and so now they're getting a lot of repetition on their own websites. So you want to change those pages as much as you can. If you notice on mine, I have this same recipe on another page. Okay. And all I did was just put the recipe. I have this on another page, but you see how I changed it? Instead of putting it as bullet points for the ingredients and how to do it, I put it in paragraph form. So that's one way how you can change your information. Same thing with here. I got bullet points for the actual ingredients, but then my prep time, I put it in paragraph form. So even though I've used the same recipe, it looks different. The format's different. And I've, changed around, some of the ingredients, instead of putting the beans here or the corn here, I mixed and matched it a little bit, but it's still the same. So if you're going to do that and use stuff from another page that you've created and you just want to incorporate it, you still have to change it. Because even though it's your own words, according to Google, it's still a duplicate. So you have to even sometimes rearrange your own words. Not saying that's a bad thing, but again, they don't want you to say that you have 105 pages and 2 of those pages are exact same thing. You just changed the title and added a few paragraphs. It's still the same information. So if you change it and use it, you have to change it to where it doesn't look exactly the same. So that's one of the things that you want to do. The other thing is, once you do get Google AdSense, don't go back and take a lot of pages out. Those of you that have CJ, you'll get emails all the time that saying something's been deactivated. Don't take your page and put it in draft. Just leave it there. It comes back, I promise you. And even if it doesn't, just take the link out, but leave your pages there. People are getting upset because they're not making money when they get Google AdSense, and you go back and look at their website and they got half their site in draft now, for whatever reason. If that happens and we lose an affiliate, leave your information there. Just take the link out, because you're getting traffic and SEO on that page, not on the links. That's where you get your money from. So don't automatically assume because your link's gone that your page needs to come down. Just take the link out and put a disclaimer, page under construction, or something, getting new information, or whatever. But do not take a page out, especially if you've advertised it. Do not take it out of your system and draft it. You will lose all that traffic and all that SEO. And people that's bookmarked your page and go back to it and it's not there, will learn not to trust you. They'll think, oh, they're gone now. They won't even bother to look at anything else. So you don't want to lose your customers or your traffic that you have, because you've taken a page out of draft, or taken a page out of your system and drafted it so they can't find it. You always want to make sure that they can find you, even though the information may not be there. Uh-oh, I'm losing my internet. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So even though the information may not be there, your page is still there. So just remove a link, but never take a page and put it in draft after you've advertised it. Okay. All right. Somebody's sent me a chat. Okay. On your disclaimer, when you do that, you can put it at the very top, right underneath your title. And you just open up a block and you'll put a disclaimer, like I have on my Canada pages and on my Australia page, that this is under construction due to some regulation changes, but we'll have it back up and running as soon as possible. That way they can still search my pages in Australia and Canada and the UK. They know it's coming, so that when we do get the program implemented, all I have to do is go in there and say, oh, we're up and running now, shop away, or whatever. But I just have it right up underneath the title so that they can still come in and read about what the program's going to be offering. And then once it's available, I'll just put in there and say, hey, it's available now. I'll let it run like that for a couple months, and then I'll go in and take it out. And then it'll just be a regular page. I won't lose any of my traffic. I haven't lost any of my traffic to those countries, and people know I'm there, and then they can just start shopping. So, because I've already advertised there, I didn't want to lose that traffic. So that's why if you've advertised a page and something happens, just take the links out and put that disclaimer right up underneath your title, so that they know that your page is basically, or your affiliate is under construction, or you're looking for a new affiliate to go with the program. And that way,
Sheila, so
yes.
the difference between publish and advertising is two different things, correct?
Yes. Publish means that your page is viewable on your website, and that people because your website is live on Google search, but your page as a whole has not gained that SEO traffic to where if somebody goes in and looks for it, it's not going to show up on those first 5 pages. But your website as a whole is searchable on Google based on your key phrase. But the more you advertise it, which means you put it on social media, you put it on those free ad sites, then that means it moves up in Google, so that that page does show up on the first 4, 5, or 6 pages on a search. But right now your website is probably on the back burner if you haven't done any advertising, but people can find it. They can find it. So if you publish your page, that means it's searchable. If you advertise your page, and that means you are specifically advertising that particular page for people to come and look at it. And then that's gaining traffic, not only to your page, to your website. And the more traffic you get, the closer you get to those pages first, or the front search section of Google. Most people don't search after the 5th page or 6th page in Google when they're searching for something. They change their keyword, the search word that they're looking for. They just change it all together. So that's why the advertising your page is key. So that you get on that first 5 to 6 search page.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Okay. All right, so any more questions about Google and Google AdSense, how those work? Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to use snipping tool. Those of you that have the Helium, we had to apply some documents, and a lot of people were, they couldn't get their documents to upload or whatever. So what you can do, depending on what system you have, is, and I haven't done it here, but I'm going to go ahead and look. So I'm going to hit my search bar. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to type in snipping tool. So mine's called snipping tool. Some of the other ones is called snip and sketch. I don't want that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this. It's going to be right there for me to get to. And I'm going to come here and I want to go to my Valentis. And I am going to go to order product. And I want this picture right here, this thermal roast. So then I'm going to come back here and get my snipping tool. I'm going to click new. And my mode, I want it to be rectangular. So make sure that's clicked. New. Come on. And then I'm going to, it didn't go. See, it only did, I don't want that one. Cancel. So I'm going to do new again. Let's move this over. It's in my way. So you want to make sure you start and get the whole thing that you want to get. All right. And then I want to save, and I always save as. And when you come over here, I have it saves it as a PNG. And if not, then you can hit your drop down and determine if you want to save it as a JPEG or something else. But I'm going to save it as a PNG, and I'm going to name it, and it's thermal roast. But I don't want to save it there. I actually want to save it into my blogging pictures and under coffee. And hit save. So now that's pictures there, but say you don't have that option and you want to incorporate that picture. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my files. I'm going to pull up my blogging pictures, pull up my coffee page, and look for thermal roast right there. Okay, so there's that picture. Now when you come here, you don't want to do that one. No. Let's do it this way. So there's the picture. So now I want to come to my, again, I'm going to go to my search, and I want to look for my paint program. There's my paint. And then I'm going to just drag this picture over here. And there's my picture. Now, I don't want to do anything to it. I'm not going to resize it or anything like that, but I'm just going to come here to File, and I'm going to hit Save As. Now, when it does that, it's going to pop up, how do I want to save it? And I want to save it as a PNG or JPEG. If you're using Helium, PNG is what it's looking for. If you save it under JPEG, sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. PNG is what you want. So you're going to hit PNG, and again, you're going to do the same thing, name it. And since I already got one thermal roast, it's a PNG, I don't want it to override it. And look at where it's saving it. It's saving it under Dropbox under logos. I don't want it Dropbox logos. I want it Dropbox coffee. As soon as I find it. Where are you at? Logging pictures and coffee and save. And I didn't do a transparency, so I'm not worried about that, and just hit OK. So now that is a PNG in my photos. So if I go here, you see I just hover over it, and it will tell me that it's a PNG file, and it will tell me the size. And this one will also say it's a PNG. So that's what you want to look for, and that's how you can go in and fix your pictures. The other thing that you can do with Paint is some of the advertisers will tell you that you can only use a certain size picture. So again, you pull up your Paint and say, I want to grab this picture. I'm going to go to my logos. Because my logos are always big. And let's grab this one. Okay, so this tells me my size. Well, some of the ones, advertisers, you can only use so many pixels. So the good thing about Paint is you can come here and hit resize, click on pixels, and it tells you what size pixels it is. I know the ones for the US Net ads, I think it's US Net ads, you can only use up to 800 pixel. So this one's 500, so it will be fine. But say if it wasn't, then I can just come here and click in 800 and hit OK. And then I can come here and hit Save As. Again, I'm going to save it as a JPEG. And I'm going to put Bitcoin. And I usually put the size, so I know what size it is. Again, I want to make sure I'm going back to my logos. So always look and see where it's saving it. So people's like, I've had people say, I can't remember where it's saved. I don't know where it's at. Always look where you go to save it. And then I'm just going to click Save. It's not transparent. You're always going to get this. We don't do transparency, or this one's doesn't have transparent, so I'm not going to worry about that, and hit Save. So, and since I use this a lot, I'm going to bookmark this on my toolbar. So I'm just going to come here and right click, and I get this tab, and then I'm just going to hit Pin to Taskbar. And then it will stay there. That way I don't have to keep searching for it. I'm going to do my snipping tool that way too. Open it up and come over here, right click, pin to taskbar, And then that way, all my tools that I want to use are just right there for me to find. And you just toggle over for whichever ones you want to use. And you don't have to keep searching for them. And then when you close out of it, it still stays there. So you don't have to worry about going in and searching it. It's all right there for you to use. Okay. Any questions on how to use the snipping tool? Do I still have everybody with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. It got real quiet there.
You're here. You're here.
All right.
I think I got it. I spent hours on that yesterday trying to get that to work.
Yeah.
I think I got it now.
Okay. If not,
I
just
have
give me go ahead.
I have Apple, so it's kind of hard to use a snippet. Apple doesn't have snippet. I was just now.
See what kind, I don't know what kind of what
Yeah,
it's
right
called.
now I was researching. I was searching on my apps and see if they have an app for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't had any luck yet. I know I use it at work all the time in my job.
Yep. And
But
I'm not sure, I
Apple
can't
don't.
remember what it's called on the Apple one. I have to think about it.
They've got a few, but they want you to become a member, be a membership or whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to ask, because Apple's Mac, right? Or is that two different things?
No, it's Mac.
Mac. Yeah, Tony uses it. I have to see which one she uses
Okay.
for her. Yep. We'll see
That'd be
which one
great.
that is. All right.
Why did you do the paint on that? Is that supposed to be done or not? It's just an option.
It's an option. Like when you go to advertise, say you've pulled a photo off of Google and it's too big. Like when you go to advertise, let me pull up one of my ads.
Oh, so the paint just.
Yeah, you can resize it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can resize it under paint, so that you can get the right dimensions to advertise on certain pages. Like every time I create a meme that I want to use, I always use it as an Instagram, which is 1080 by 1080. That's too big. So I always use my paint to resize them so I can use them on my US Net ads, because you can only have 800 pixel picture.
Okay, and on one spot on that snippet, it says save. Well, I saved it, and then I went back to try to get it, and it said I didn't have authority to get my picture. I had a wonderful time with this thing yesterday. You just have no idea.
That's why I don't use save. I always use save as.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't think it had a save as on there because it was on the site itself, and it now they won't have my picture.
Yeah, so whenever I do new, and it could be sometimes when you do that, unless it's your own picture, if you copy a picture off of Google, it will let you copy it. Then when you go to use it, it won't let you use it because it has a copyright on it.
Oh.
So sometimes that could be
my driver's license, and I can't get it back, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what that issue is. It could just be the formatting of of how it was saved, and how it's being transferred over. They might not accept that format. Yes.
Would it make sense to review pictures and make sure that they are sized at 800?
No, because only certain free ad sites have a picture requirement, so you don't need.
I ran into one the other night.
Yeah, so the only thing is, and you won't know until you get on the ad site that it says, you know, how big it is. So usually what I do is when I pull up my photos, I just hover over it and it will tell me what their dimensions are before I use it. Then if I know it's one that's going to be too big, then I just pull up my paint and then just drag it in there and resize it and save it, and I can use it. But I know all the programs for US Net ads and the hot ads week or something other like that I use, they all have that 800 pixel. So let's see, which one is it? I might not have saved it. I hope I did.
It's US Net or US Online. That's one of the.
Yeah, I know US Net Ads has it, but there's another one I used yesterday that I posted a bunch of ads to. Let me pull up my template. And the one thing when you do use US Net Ads, you want to put those in a spreadsheet because they give you a number that you have to use, an ID number, and that's the only way. Yeah, Hot Web Ads is the one I used yesterday. You have to have this ID number to modify or pull up your your offer or your ad. If you don't have it, you can't get it.
It's
So
Hot Web free site.
yeah, Hot Web Ads is a free site. Yep. And it's identical to US Net Ads. I mean, identical. It's just a different site, and you can advertise. I think they got like 6 different countries that you can advertise with them. But again, these are the ones, they don't want you to do duplicates. So that's why it's key to have the different titles. Sometimes they don't always catch that you use the same descriptions, but they will catch if you use the same title. So it's key to have different titles when you're using some of these free ad sites, because they will tell you that you're using a duplicate ad. And most of the time it's going based on the title.
Okay.
So have multiple titles, and then in your description, if you change the title and it still comes back and says you have a duplicate, then switch your words around on your description a little bit, and that should be fine. I did that yesterday with a bunch of them, but this is the ones I went on Hot Webs, and just changed some titles around, changed the wording, made a statement and a question, made questions a statement. I only had, I think it was 2 or 3 incidents where I actually had to go in and change the description around before they called it. And you can do leave it blank where it will do all the United States, or you can be specific to a state or a city. So the other thing is you don't want to do your autofill when you do the US Net Ads or the Hot Webs, because when you do the autofill, it changes the city to whatever your address is that you have with your autofill. So manually type in everything, especially the city or state where you want it to go to, because if you do the autofill, when you see where it says state, it will only send it to the state that it has there. So if you've done your autofill, it's got your current address in there. So that's the only place it's going to go. So always do autofill if you fill that in. I think it's with the phone number. My phone number is linked to my address. So whenever I put the phone number in, if I hit autofill, then it changes everything. So I just manually use it. And I use my Google Voice number for every advertising if I have to put in a phone number. That's one of the things that I stress to people. If you use that Google Voice number for things other than your advertising, you're less likely to get kicked off of Google Voice, because I get calls on there all the time. So that's one of to do one of the places to advertise. So, and then for Response Magic, let's see, where is that at? Okay, so for Response Magic, I'm going to change out that magnet. So since I already have so many created, I don't want to create another one. But you can create it through here. Paul did an excellent training on Thursday night on how to use Response Magic. It's great. So you can go and look at that one. He actually has it published now on his website, 2q84.com, under communities. So I'm just going to go here to my magnets, and I'm just going to choose one that I want to put on there. I'm going to do this one, looking for ways to get income online. So I'm just going to come here and click code, get my code, and I'm going to copy this widget. And you can do Control A and Control C. That highlights it. Control A highlights it. Control C copies. And I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to go back to my page. Go to Dashboard, go to Appearance, and go to Widgets. And the left of menu is is the home page. The right of menu is your consecutive pages. So I'm going to come here and see, that's my Google, which is first, then your search, and this should be my response magic. Yep. So I'm going to delete. Well, you could do one or two things. I can come here and actually highlight this. And then paste the new one in there, hit save, and done. And then let's go back and check the visual side. So there, it's in there. But say I didn't have it, then what you would do is you would come over here and you would look for a custom HTML. You would click where you want it to go, which on this instant is the left of menu, and you would hit Add Widget, and it will put it at the very bottom. And it will open it up. No, we don't want to do that. Delete, it's not a widget. It is text. You're going to hit Add Text. You're going to hit Add the widget text. It's going to open it up, and it's going to open it up under the visual side. We want the text side. You don't have to put a title in there, and then all you're going to do is paste your link, your widget in there, paste it in there, hit save, and done. And then wherever it's located, that's where it's going to show up. So then if you want it to be right up underneath your Google or your search tab, then what you would do is you would grab it and you would just drag it to wherever you want it to go, and then that's where it would show up. So, and then you just go to visit your site. It shows up on your home page. And there's my website. There's my new widget. Okay, and that's only for your home page. If you want one for the different ones, so this one says holiday shopping at your fingertips. I can leave that one there. I'm okay with that.
Sheila, excuse me.
Yes. Mhm.
So the widget is on the right-hand side here? Is that what a
Yes.
widget is?
Mm-hmm. This right here is your widget
Is it
for your
on my,
for your response magic.
I don't know. Okay, there it is. I see it now. I wasn't able to see it at first. It was hidden.
Yeah, and it should be
Okay.
yeah, and it's going to be under widgets, and it's going to be a text widget, not an HTML widget. You want it to be a text widget, and then you have to make sure that you're under the text side of the widget, not the visual.
So these widgets, can you have those even if you don't have Google AdSense?
Oh yeah. Yep. And that's what these are. So when you go to CJ, so let me close out of this. So when you go to CJ has the option where you can get their banners. These are just banners on my website. So when I log in to CJ and say I want to do chocolate, because Christmas, not Christmas, but so I'm going to go to links and go to search, and that pulls up just my links. I don't have to worry about if I got to get approval or anything. These are the ones that I already have approval for.
Now on those approvals, can they deactivate them on you?
They will. Like that's what I was saying. Yeah, they will deactivate. And usually when they deactivate, they're either updating their website, adding new stuff in. It will come back. If it don't come back within that same day, it'll come back within the couple of days. The only time you need to worry about taking it down is when they send you an email and tell you that they are leaving CJ, and they will give you a date. They don't come up and say, okay, we're leaving now, you got 24 hours. They usually give you, a good 2 to 3 weeks to take it down. And then you don't take your page down, you just remove the links. But they will tell you that they're leaving CJ. That's the only time you need to take your link out. Other than that, I'd leave mine in there until I get that email that's saying they are leaving CJ, that they are no longer part of the affiliate program. If they just send you an email saying that they're deactivating their site for whatever reason, it's usually they're just updating the site, and it will come back within 24 hours or a couple of days, and you'll get
Yeah, because
another email. Yeah, you'll
I
get
was
another email.
noticing that.
Go ahead.
I was noticing that when I applied for them, it said, okay, you are approved for it. And then a couple days later, it says that this has been deactivated. And I was like, gosh, what did I do wrong?
You did. Yeah, you'll get that. I think the most I've gotten a day was like 30. And
Okay.
then before the night was over, I got reactivation notices, and sometimes they'll deactivate and reactivate within a couple of minutes of each other, and usually they're just doing an update. So yeah.
Okay, now do you save those emails?
No.
You just delete them?
Yeah, you can delete them, because right here they send you the same information here on your CJ. Yeah, you get the same information here. And I need to go in and clean these out, but you get the same information on your email that you registered with CJ, gets here too. So either one. But yeah, you don't need to keep those. The only ones you need to keep is like if they totally leave CJ and you've made commissions on it, then usually I print those out and put them in my folder for taxes. Just so I can say, yeah, I was a part of them, even though they'll send me a 1099. I just wanted proof that, hey, yeah, I worked, I marketed for them.
Okay.
So here's, so these are all the ones that I have approval for. There's 37 different links, 37,000, almost 38,000 different links here. So I know right now I want to use chocolate, because we got Valentine's Day coming up, then right behind that's Easter. So I'm going to do chocolate. And you see, anything that has a picture has a link. If it just says text, that's all you're going to get, is that text message right there. So if you see a picture that you want to use on your website, and this is what Paul calls prettying up, you can just pretty it up. And you can use these in several different places. Ethel chocolates. I want to look. There's my Russell Stovers. Okay. So we're going to do Russell Stovers. So there's that banner. I want to use that banner. So I'm going to come over here to where it says get code. And you have three options. You have your HTML, your JavaScript, which we don't use. Our website is not set up to use JavaScript. And then we have our click URL. Our click URL is where we do our linking for words, phrases, and things like that. For our pictures, you use your click URL. Your HTML is where you would use it for your widgets. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to come back here, and I'm actually going to put it here because I don't have anything here. So I'm going to come here, and I want to find my widget code, and it should be under formatting. Custom HTML. So I'm going to get my custom HTML code, and I'm going to paste that code in there. All right. And then I'm going to click my preview, and there's my widget for my Russell Stovers. Now I'm going to click update, and that's going to stay there. So there's my Russell Stovers widget. So now say if I want to put it on my page and I want it to be over here, then I would do the same thing. If I'm on my dashboard or on my website, I would go to widgets, or if I'm on my dashboard, I would go to appearance and go to widgets. Everything's going to be in widget. And then you have to decide where you want it. Do you want it on your left of menu, your right of menu, or right sidebar, which means it will show on all of your pages. Your left of menu will only be on your home page. Right goes on every consecutive page. Footer does the same thing. It shows through your whole system. So I think I want to put this on my footer. My dog is going crazy. I don't know why. So so this one I'm going to do a text again. I like text better than HTML code. And I'm going to do footer, add widget. Again, we're going to go text, paste, save, and then do visual. And there's my picture. And then hit done. Always hit done after you hit save. And then I'm going to go back to visit my website. And I can pick any page I want. Let's just look at blockchain. And if I scroll down to the bottom of blockchain, there's my Russell Stover's picture. And it will be on any page I choose. So if I go anywhere on my page, pick any page, it will be on my footer. So again, there's my Russell Stovers. And that's all these are. Some of them, if it has that funny little character on it, like this one is one that I removed, but the text block's still there. But all these are just widgets from different companies that I have access to. If it has that funny looking X on it, that's a Google one, and you don't want to mess with that one. So just like I said, it just depends on where you want it, how you want it to go, and just remove that. But yeah,
So
but
Sheila, so on all those widgets you have, do you think just thought wise, do you think people in average click on a picture more than a link?
They do. People are visual shoppers, but there again, you don't want to bombard your page with pictures. Google won't approve you. They look at that as competition for their AdSense.
Okay.
So if you want, that's why if you go and look at your SEO, they want a picture about every 150 to 200 words. That's the max that you want.
Okay.
And that way, and usually I try to put mine when it ties in from one thought process to the next. So that's the way I use it. Now, if you're doing like vacation pictures, when you want to do that, that's where the gallery comes in, that you can do like multiple pictures for your gallery. But again, the thing about with gallery is you can't link the actual pictures on a gallery. You have to link the comments. You can't link the picture. So you'll get that SEO down at the bottom that says you have 30 pictures, and out of those 30 pictures, only 5 of them have links or alternative text, because you can't put an alternative text on a gallery.
So when you say your pictures, that includes your widgets?
No. No. Pictures like this right here, this is considered a picture. Now, if I would have left that widget here, Google would have considered that a picture of Russell Stover's. Even though it's a widget, it's still a picture.
Okay.
Now, the ones that are over on the side, that's different. That's advertising. That has nothing to do with my content.
Because my page, I haven't learned about the widgets until today. Okay. That I'm allowed to put those on there.
Yep. Yep. But like I said, depending on how long your actual article is, you don't want to have more widgets than you do writing. And sometimes the page, like this is a really long article, because I add to it. But I don't have, I think I have like maybe 12 widgets here. And some of them, depending on the page, will actually show up over here.
And Google doesn't just consider that overdone?
No.
The Russell Stover widget, is it linked?
Yes, every widget that you pull off CJ is already linked to you. You don't have, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just remember that if you put them in your page, like here, if you put a widget HTML code in your page, you can't have it open in a new tab. So if they click on it, it's going to go away from your page. That's the only drawback to it.
Okay, so like custom URL, you have to execute the link, but a widget has its own link embedded.
Yep. So in CJ, all of these are my link, like this 8752-102. This tells them this is for my account. So they know when anybody clicks this link, I get credit for it. So all of the banners are already linked. You don't have to link them. One.
Did we lose you?
Sheila.
Did we lose her?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to find out what my dog was barking at. My husband went outside and didn't take him with him, so he's mad.
Because
Okay.
you were talking about chocolate.
I'm sorry. But yeah, just remember that when you do use those widgets or banners inside your page as a block, it is still considered a picture, even though it's linked. So there again, you want to use them sporadically. Also remember, you can't link a widget. So whenever somebody clicks it, it's going to take them away from your page. So if you happen to use those, kind of use them towards the end. If you want to use them, if you really just can't find a picture to use. That's why I use mine on the sides, on the left and right side, or in the footer. But there again, you don't want to use too many because you don't want Google to consider it competition for them.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. All right. But again, that's how you get your links too. So like with mine, the page that I have right here, I don't have anything here for meat. So I'm going to come back to my CJ and I'm going to put in steak. And it's going to pull up one of my steak companies. And so all I can do here is, like, this one's a first time buyers. I want to use that link. So I'm going to come here and hit get code. And this one I'm going to use my click URL. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to come back to my page. And I always like to use whole phrases. I don't like to use just one word for linking. So I'm going to use hamburger meat, click, paste, open link in a new tab, update. And because this is in classic, I can actually change my color that I want that word to be. And I'm going to bold it. And I'm going to do this one, add meatballs, do it the same way, paste, update, change my color, bold, and then update because I added those two links. Okay, so that's how you would get your link. And CJ, now, if you go to ClickBank, they have a lot of like recipe books. So you could actually go into ClickBank and type in recipe books. So we're going to go to Marketplace. Type in recipes. All right, so here's one for 350 recipe ideas for busy people. That would be a great book to use. Jamaican recipes, paleo, let's see what else. Diabetic, alkaline, low carb. I don't want to do. So I get this one, 350 recipes. And then I'm just going to click on promote. My nickname's Mama Chief 1. I'm not going to put a tracking ID. That's just more stuff I have to keep up with. I'm going to hit generate a hop link, and there's my link. I'm just going to copy it. You can do it that way, or you can hit this right here where it copies it for you. I'm going to go back to my website, and right here, I'm going to type this in. I'm not going to do Southern because that's not necessarily a Southern. I'm just going to put comfort food recipes. And I'm going to link that. Make sure I click open in a new tab and bold it. And since this is a paragraph block, I can't change the wording individually. But if I wanted to, I can come over here to my color settings and I can change the background of that. So it can make that look really nice and stand out. And then just hit update. And you can also do drop cap, bring more attention to it. And then once I do that, I can just click on preview and see how it's going to look. So there's that. So now I got a couple links in there. I got my picture, meatballs, different types, wings, my chili. Oh, it was great chili, by the way, Mr. Dean. Really appreciate it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Me and my husband ate it that night. I think I had 2 bowls. He had about 2.5 bowls. we ate it all. So actually, I have all my stuff set out today. That's what I'm making today is pasta salad. So comfort food because it's cold and I don't feel like cooking. So that's how my page is going to look. I'm okay with that. It's pretty lengthy, which people that know me, I like to write. So most of my pages, quite a few. So let's see how much is here. So 1,500 words. Most of my pages are always more than 1,000 because I just like to write. I never know when to stop. So that's how you would go about getting your links from your different programs that you have or your affiliates and put them in your website. So does anybody have anything on how to put your links in your content? Good. All right, so now we're going to go to our advertising, and I want to advertise this page. So I'm going to pull up my ad copy. Hold on. Oh, he's really upset. So anyway. So I'm just going to come down to the bottom. This is my running page that I have. All right, y'all have to excuse me for a minute. I got to go take care of him. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is think of at least 4 topics for this page. So it's talking about Southern comfort food recipes. So I'm going to use that for one, for sure. Oh, it's what I have.
Hi, Sheila.
Hey, dear.
CEIPES on the recipes.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. It wanted me to put a question mark on there. All right. All right. It's always something funny. And then I'm going to have my description.
Sheila,
Mm-hmm.
I think that you ought to clarify that pasta in the South actually means mac and cheese.
I didn't even put my mac and cheese on there. That's why I said it's a page in progress. We'll always be adding to that one.
You know, Sheila, when I went to visit my friend in Baton Rouge, they have this thing called tea cakes.
Yeah.
I've never heard of those.
Yep.
And I learned how to make them with gluten-free flour.
See, you need to make a page.
Oh, God. I'm not talking anymore. Oh, but that's a good idea. Okay.
All right, so I'm just going to do this one because my dog is really going crazy. I think my husband actually left and he knows I'm here by myself, so he's protecting the house. So, which he's good for. All right, so now I have these, and I'm going to go to my website and grab my permalink. So I'm going to come down here where it says view page. This is going to be my link. I'm going to copy my link address. And I'm going to come back here. And I'm going to put my link right up under here. And sometimes all right. So sometimes I can put this last line there. If it tells me, if I go to post a description, you have to look on the right left-hand side of the description box. It will tell you that if you put a link in it, they'll charge you for it, or if you can't put a link in it. The only thing you need to do in that instance is after you post your link, just right click it and hit unlink or remove the link. And it will unhighlight it or break the link. And then that way you have your link, but it's not a clickable link, but they can always copy and paste it. So it just depends on the advertising site that you're in. So now I'm going to come back here and I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to go to my marketing sites. No, my ad sites. And I'm going to go to, this is my new one. Locanto. I think that's how you say it. And I'm going to go post a pre-ad. And I'm going to click my title, grab one of my titles here. And I'm just going to do this one.
So Sheila, you can do all these different titles, but then just one description?
No, you're going to have multiple descriptions. I just did one because we're stressed on time.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll come back and do more. So, and then from here, you're going to pick a category. This one I'm going to do community. And I'm going to put in I want to do community activity partner. No, let's not do that one. Let's do events. Other events. I want to do events. Yeah, we're going to do other events. Okay. And then here I'm going to put in my description. And since today, I'm just going to put the date.
I don't remember seeing that in my post in Lecanto.
It's because of the description I picked. I put events.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I'm going to, and this one allows you to do up to 20 pictures. I don't do 20 pictures. It's not a specific. It tells you right here, can't exceed more than 20 pictures, can't exceed more than 20 megabytes. They will do JPEGs, GIFs, and PNGs. So, so then I'm going to come here, and I always do my logos that I've made. If you are in the logo program or the memes program, you should have some. And I'm just going to pick I don't know. Ones that are related to food. Like this one is my natural foods. But I also will pick a couple other different things, like I'll do my logo. That one. And then let's do one more. Do my Bitcoin. And since it is in a community that I'm posting it to, I can do a bunch of different things. So I'm going to do one for my travel. And then I'm going to do one for my weight loss. There's she.
And all that's going into an ad on food.
Lacano. All right. And then right here, it's asking me for my website. Even though I have it posted, I'm going to post it again because they will have it linked. So I will put that there. And my phone number, I will add that. And this is why I said don't use this, the autosave, because this is the city you want it to go to. All right. So I want this to go to And you can put a zip code if you want, but I want it to go to New York. And New York State sounds good to me. Or counties, New York and New York State. So I'm gonna put that there. And then hit post my ad. You don't want to do any of the upgrades. Nope. Just go to proceed. All right, and then it says your ad will be online in a few minutes and you will get a notification in your email that your ad's ready. So this is what it's going to look like. That's going to be one of the pictures. Then I can sit here and say view my ad. I want to see what my ad's going to look like. So this one I had to put a date in, which is fine. The ads are only good for 45 days, 42 days anyway. So I'll have to come back in later and do that. But it's got several different ones and it's going to New York. So that's why I said don't do your autofill, because if I hadn't have changed that, it would have just came to Monroe.
So you can come back and renew that ad in 40 days.
Yep, should be able to. Yeah. I missed the last one.
You have a specific day that you choose to go back and.
But this one says 28 days. Still, oh, that was my other one. So this one's good. This is the one I posted already.
So Sheila, do you have a tracking system on when and do these ads, you know, like when they expire?
No, because this is a new one that I missed it. So I lost all my other ones that I had on here. I know this one is only good for 42 days. Usually I do my ads on Saturday after class. And if it gives me the option to renew, I always renew all my ads. For classified business, those are good for 30 days. So I just, like I said, just come in here and just hit renew ads about once a week and it renews all your ads. This one I had to start over because classifieds free's gone down. I can't get it to come back up. So I lost thousands and thousands of ads there. Whoever that is, can you please mute?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was me.
That's okay. So
I forgot I wasn't muted.
Sorry. So and like for classifieds, this other site right here, this one is only good for 6 months. You will get a notification like a week before the ad is expiring that your ad's getting ready to expire. And then all you have to do is just click on the ad and hit renew. So this one will actually tell you that you have an ad that's getting ready to expire. And then all you'd have to do is hit renew. But the rest of them, they don't. They just tell you, like the US Net ads, it's good for a year. And you don't get a notification of when that one is up. It's just gone. So if you're in there every week advertising, which you should be doing every day, advertising at least a page a day, then you should be able to keep up with it. But this is a new one I had, and it's I missed it, so I'm still working on that, and to see like this one here is the keto-friendly diet. I use the same picture. This one, it says still online for 40 days. So I know it's good for 42 days, but I'm not sure. I've already had 22 people looking at this one, which is amazing. So that's a good thing about this. It actually tells you how many times your site's, your ad's been viewed. I just hate that I lost the other one. So I'm not sure once it gets finished, I know it doesn't send you anything that let you know that it's expiring. So I'll probably have to come back in here and see if there's a way I can actually renew these ads. Probably if you do a premium account, you can, but I'm not, this is just the free one. So it's got alerts, so you can probably, no, that's if somebody's sending you something. So, so yeah, I'm still playing around with this one to see how it works. But it is a free site, and you know, it's fairly easy to use. And so right now it's telling me I got too active. I had like 20 on there, so I lost them all. I had forgot I had this, and I was changing over computer, so I lost them. But that's the good thing about having templates, is now all I got to do is just pull up my templates and just copy and paste my ads over. So that's the wonderful thing about having templates, is that if something does happen like this, all I have to do is just pull up my templates and just start from the beginning. Grab me a title, a description, and a link. As you can see, some of my links, some of my titles, I can have various different links for the same offer. It just depends on how you word it. Summer beach fun, Valentine's Day, you know, different ones. You can actually have several different links for that one. Health, you know, health and weight loss. I can use any of my coffee products or coffee links for that one. So depending on how you have your template set up, determines on how many ads you can put out. And it's just a matter of copying and pasting from that point. Same thing for the business for free. Again, it's just like the classifieds for free. But you don't want to use this one exclusively, because you just never know when it's going to go down. So then you can just go to post an ad. It automatically defaults to the United States. So I can just come here and again, just grab my ad that I want to send. And I'm going to do this one, comfort foods for any occasion. Type my header in there. And see, this one actually has the ability to do affiliate marketing. So that'll be good for like your anchor offers if you offer it as a business opportunity. This one, I'm actually going to put it under general merchandise. What's the other one? Miscellaneous. We can do it under miscellaneous. And I always put my phone number for my Google Voice for them to call me. Description, again, just copy my description. This one allows you to have your link in there, so you don't have to break your link. And then I'm just going to copy my link straight out of my description, paste it here. And then you're going to come down and select your pictures. You want to select your photos in the order you want them to appear. So that was the number one thing, is you want to make sure that they're in order. So I'm just going to do this one. I need to go and make me a food meme. I don't have a food meme. I need to make me one of those. And that one. I'll do that wine and dine. Let them come see wine and dine. Use that one. Okay. And then I'm going to come here and hit post my ad, and it will show me what my ad looks like. Shows the link. All right. And then the good thing about this site, it's so user friendly. Just click another ad, and then just start with your different states. Post an ad, come down, start again, then do all 50 states if you want to. And then after you do that, if you don't want to change the ad, you can come in and change out some pictures. You can come in and change out your title if you want to, and then just pick a state and then pick a cities in the state and start working on the cities with the same ad. You can do the same thing if your affiliates market outside the United States, then you can just go down here to where it says post outside the United States and start picking countries. I know right now the ones that I use are only marketable in the United States, so I don't want to go outside the United States. And then just do the same thing. Just keep, going. This site is very user friendly, but it does break down quite a bit. So you want to be cautious of not putting all your eggs in a basket here. And just, you can spend an hour or so if you get the opportunity and post on this site. Just remember the next day, go to a different site. So this one, I'm going to post an ad on this one. You're going to select a category. And I'm going to do items for sale. Subcategory is going to be miscellaneous items. And location, I'm going to put state of, I don't know if I can just put California. I can spell it. And then it will pull up, and I want to do state of. And again, I'm just going to grab a title.
Now, Sheila, what is the benefit of having 5 or 6 photos or memes in an ad?
Depending on the marketing platform, they will rotate those pictures out. So if you only have one picture, they'll have that one picture. Okay. But if you have multiple pictures, then depending on the platform that they're using, they will choose a picture.
So they
basically
keep it refreshed for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So then I'm going to copy this again. Now, some of them, like this one, I know you can't do your paste. It will actually pull up a thing, so you actually have to use your function keys. To paste it in. Now, this one, I think this one charges for your link. If it does, it will come back and tell me I owe for it. But if you have one that says it charges for your link, then just highlight your link and break it and leave it in there, and you'll be good. So then I'm going to come back here and copy this link because I know I'm going to need it here in a minute. All right, and then your name, and I just put, again, I put my phone number. Do not, again, this is one of those sites you don't want to do your autofill because it will change this right here. And do not change this. If it populates a time frame, then that's your free period. Anything other than that, you have to pay for. All right, and then again, this one tells you you can choose up to 5 pictures. So again, I'm going to choose a file.
Now, Sheila, you got this listed as it being for sale. So are you selling a recipe book?
No, but the links are selling something. My page is just for information.
Okay.
Yep. And that's why I have it listed under miscellaneous, because it really didn't fit in a category, any particular one category. So I put it under miscellaneous. That way it's not really singled out. Where I'm starting again. And then let's get one more. All right, then post this ad. All right, so it's asking me for an asking price, and I put various. And so there's how my ad's going to look. Those are the pictures that they will cycle out. And you can actually respond to your own ad and tell them, hey, if you got any information, contact me. You got your email, and then hit send message, and he'll send yourself your own message, but people that will see it will also be able to come. It tells me, you know, my contact, where I'm posting it from, California miscellaneous. It's posting to the state of California, and it's various prices. It tells me my offers is expiring August the 1st of 2020. So the thing about it is if I wanted to, I could pull up my spreadsheet that I have and actually put that on there if I want to. There's my ad number, and I can put expiration date, and then I can come back here and put it in here. But this is one of the ones that they will send me an email that's saying my ad's getting ready to expire. So then I can come here to where it says my stuff, and I can see after I've updated how many views I've gotten. So this one, I've gotten 4 views, you know, and if I come across some that doesn't have a lot and it's been out there for a while, I can delete them and put new ones out there. But for the most part, since I know this is my Canada club, I don't want to move it. I'm going to leave it there. Like this one right here in California, it's gotten 174 hits since June. I've renewed it a couple times. So this one is pets. Pets, a really big market out there for pets. And then here's one for Smart Miner in Australia that I'm getting some good hits on. So this will basically give me some things that I can go in and work in, and it tells me where I've advertised it. So I can come back in here and advertise some of the other ones that are getting really good hits and just advertise it, you know, in maybe a different place in that same state. So if this is in California, maybe just go to a different city in California, or maybe go to another state and see how it does. Like this one, casual dating, I'm not getting a lot of hits on that one, so I might go in and change that one and move it to a different state. And now I'll have to edit the title, because this one will tell you you're using the same title. So again, just different things that you can use, but have several different ones. Like under my ad sites, I actually have 5, 6 of them. I need to go and find some more. But when you go to the US Net ad site, there's actually quite a few in that one. There it is, Hot Webs. So when you go to Hot Webs and you want to post the link, here's all the different ad sites that you can log into. And it tells you if it's free online sites. You just have to make sure that you're not doing jobs online, because those can be kind of picky as far as posting jobs, because we're not really a job per se, just showing people how to, you know, work in the home. So, but here's all these different sites that you can actually post ads to. And you can just go in and register for them, ones that work for you, ones that you can use on your website, and just post ads and save them. That's why I have this one link. And, you know, just click on 100% advertising, US free ads, just click on that one. And there's US Net ads. And then once you get into US Net ads, you have all these free ad sites that you can post to. So again, you have several different places you can go to post ads. You just have to make sure that you have your ads ready. So then all of this is just a matter of copying and pasting.
Take some time to take one ad and post it across the board and all those different ad sites, wouldn't it?
Yep. That's why whenever you finish a page, and you want to go ahead and, you know, work on posting those ads, because you need to get that traffic. Yeah, you want to get that traffic to your website. Also, what you got to remember is as you're posting those ads, people's looking at your website. So that might be a boost for you to get your website complete, because they might run across a page they like that you might not have gotten to yet, and it's still linked to someone else. It doesn't have your links in there. So
that's why
but,
you had 22 pics at that other one.
exactly.
That's my big fear is I'm going to miss a link and somebody else can get paid for my work.
Yep. That's why it's, you know, you want to make sure that you're, you know, if you have a page that you really are proud of and you're like, hey, I want people to start looking at this, go ahead and get that traffic coming to your website, so that when your site is ready and you go to apply for Google AdSense, they see that your site is an active site, that you have traffic coming to it. Because a lot of people, they'll finish their page and then they'll try or finish their website and apply for Google Ads, and they've never advertised one page, and then they get upset because they haven't, they get denied, and it's because you have no traffic. So you want to get that traffic coming to your website, and social media is a great platform to get started. If you're already on social media, you just don't want to be advertising, buy here, buy here. You know, let people know, like I said, with the recipes, just tell them, hey guys, I got a good recipe page, go check it out. You know, and don't ever do wine in the mornings. You know, if you're going to say anything about wine, let it be in the afternoons, late evening, just to stay with, you know, social standings. And same thing with free on the ad sites, you can advertise anything at any time. But social media, you kind of want to stick to, you know, basic, you know, guidelines, you know, no wine before.
And choosing specific areas to advertise. Do you have a bias for California?
No, but like certain topics that you know are hotter in certain states, you kind of want to flood the market. Like right now, I know keto is a big topic in California, Texas, Florida, and New York. So I want to advertise heavily in those areas. I know travel is a big thing all over. People are getting ready to start spring break, colleges. So if major college towns, that's where I want to advertise my travel starting now, because spring break starts in March, late February, 1st of March. They start with spring break and everybody be flooding down to Florida. So I want to hit all the big college towns or states that say, hey, are you ready for spring break? That's going to be my next topic. I actually have a draft ready for that. Is where's your spring break going to be spent? And I already got travel pages, so I don't even have to write new travel pages. I already got them travel page, so I'm just going to be linking them. I might add a few different, you know, resorts that I have approval for since then. But, you know, things like that you know are trending in certain places, that's where you want to advertise. Pets is a good, there's a lot of people in California and Boston, Florida, the New England areas, the Detroit areas, heavy for pets. They have the little pet carriers. Seattle, I think, is the other one. And Washington State is heavily for, you know, those pets, the little poodle dogs, you know, or pocket dogs, I call them. So if you know your trends, market to those trends to get that traffic. Bitcoin is really heavy right now in Australia, the UK, and the PAC Rim area. They are way ahead of us in the United States as far as the Bitcoin and the stake base and all that stuff. So I market over there for that. Same thing with South America is heavy into crypto. So those are things that you can, you know, if you know it's trending in those areas, market to those areas. That don't mean those are the only places you market to, but you're probably get your heavier traffic from places that are really looking for that type of stuff.
I just wanted to say bye, Sheila. I'm having to run for an appointment, and I'll see you next week. I'll see everybody next week.
All right, darling.
Catherine.
We'll see you. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm wrapping up. So.
Okay. See you next week.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right. So there's something here in the chat. All right. That was Kathy. All right. Gotcha.
like. Hey Sheila, the Bitcoin was for Australia, China.
Yep, China, the UK, any of the Pac Rim Asia Minor countries, and South America is really big in crypto. Canada too. But the
Sheila?
United States is picking up in it, so don't neglect the United States.
Sheila?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, darling.
Hi, sweetheart. I have a question. Now, is there a way to check online or through Google? I bet you're going to say what the trends are. Like, can you do a search of like?
Yeah. You can type in trending and then type in whatever you're looking for. Trending fashion places or trending Bitcoin. Countries, you know, just put in trending, current trends and where. And it will pull them up. And that way you can see who's doing what and where.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And because it is a trend, just remember, whatever's trending this month may not be trending next month at the same place. It jumps around. Some places are pretty stable. Like Bitcoin, those places are still trending. They've been trending since I got in. Since we started with the Bitcoin. Same thing with the pets, you know, that are trending. I know Boston's always going to be a place, you know, because they're just that way. Everybody.
Hey, watch it. I'm from Boston.
I was getting ready to say, everybody I know from Boston just about has a pocket dog.
I don't.
That's because you're too busy.
That's right. But I usually, when I have a dog, it's probably a medium size.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go for the pocket dog.
But places of Martha's Vineyard is a great place. If you go, most resort places, they cater to people that have pocket animals. My dog's going crazy, but anyway, he must know I'm talking about dogs and not talking about him. He's very jealous, but you know, that's the one thing you want to do as far as your advertising. But the other thing about your advertising is you want to make sure that the affiliates that you're marketing in your page, when you market to these trending places, can actually market there. You don't want to send your page out, you know, to China and none of your affiliates in that page sell to China or can ship to China. Same thing with Canada. You want to make sure that, you know, any affiliate that you advertise, that you're advertising in Canada, they can actually ship to Canada. So don't just advertise a page somewhere just to be advertising it. You want to make sure that if they click on your page that they can actually utilize the offers that are there. We don't want to be false advertising. That's the thing I'm trying to get to. Okay, so I think that's all I have on my end. Oh, the one thing, when I don't have it in mind, I know what you're talking about when you're saying your picture overlaps your content. And what you have to do, I don't know if your instructor has gone over with you the percent sign. So if you have an overlapping video on your content, that means somewhere in that HTML code, you have that percent sign that has that long string of characters. So you have to convert it to an HTML code and go in and physically remove that and put percent. Either that or go to 1f16.com and pull up the original and then just remove that block that's there and copy over the new one. That way it takes it out. But if you have that, get with your instructor so that they can actually show you the exact place to put that percent, because if you put it in the wrong place or take out too much, it will mess up your video or content that's there. Usually it's going to be that, I think it's the video under the Bitcoin, the smart miner is where that shows up at. So yeah, if you click on the HTML code, you'll see where it has that bracket, and it's like a 22 character line from bracket to bracket that's actually supposed to be a percent sign. If you change that string of characters 2%, then to the percent sign, then that picture will get rid of the overlap. It actually place it where it needs to be placed. But get with your instructor, because you don't want to make sure, you want to make sure that you get get it in the right place, because if not, you'll mess it up.
If the wine ambassador one overlaps.
And that's probably why, is that somewhere in there there's a percent that didn't change over. Usually what you can do is just, I don't know if it's going to work, is when, and it's probably because they put that extra code in there, so that it won't go to another wine
Right.
video afterwards. So you
Right.
might have to put a blank block in there to change it, or change it to a custom HTML, or what's the other one you can use, or text block. I think that's what it is, or the video. There's one that what is it? Is it the video block? I think you can actually go in when you do a block and choose like a video, if you know where it's coming from.
This is the video that Rory did for Wine Ambassador.
Yeah, so if that's a YouTube video, if you click on YouTube, sometimes you can use that instead of using the HTML code to put that in there, and that might fix it. Or an embed, one of those two might fix it instead of using a custom HTML block. I'm trying to remember who I did that with, and that's what we ended up using, the embed block, and pasted it in there, and that fixed it. I think that's when it was. So that might fix it too, if it's the newer one.
Yeah, it's the new one, and I got it off of not the website, but you know, I think it was number 9 or whatever that had all that in there.
Okay, there yeah, hold on a minute. There is where. Oh, come on. Because I can't remember where it's at. The new wow, I can't remember where it was, but somebody posted the new posted that link somewhere. I can't remember where. So, but yeah, if you use the embed code, I think that will help fix that instead of using a custom HTML.
Okay.
I think that's what we did. I have to go back and remember.
Okay, Sheila, I'm out of here too.
All right, well, y'all, that's all I have, unless there's any questions.
No, another great afternoon, Sheila. Thanks. It's Cynthia.
Yes, it was. Thank you a lot.
All right, well, that's all I have. So unless somebody's got anything, I think we'll call it a day.
Okay.
Okay, hope you feel better, Sheila.
Thank you. I'm going to go lay down for a minute.
Okay, good for you.
All right, we'll talk to y'all next week.
Okay,
All right,
bye.
bye-bye.
you, Sheila.
Bye, everybody.
All right,
Feel
you're
better.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Sheila,
Yes.
it's Constance.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry.